On this special episode of Tune of the Other Day, we've got a special guest for you folks.
Oh yeah, that ain't ghost cams. Those are real cams. Not at this shop.
That's right, folks. We've got Dora the Explorer. And I've got my special guest with me, Panda. That's right, Panda. My Panda rides around in Dora the Explorer with me to make sure that I'm, not being too crazy. Also, to scare other drivers, things like that, because people think it's a real panda or somebody in a panda suit. Anyway, I'm going to let our narrator go ahead and talk about what is all done to Dora the Explorer, so we'll go ahead and let him go and take it away.
Hey, thanks, Mo. Dora is built from a lot of one-off parts. It's a 5.4 single overhead cam. This motor is built by Siebert Performance out in Topeka. The pistons in it are a zero deck piston. It is roughly 10.5 to 1 compression. The cams are a custom spec blower grind. The heads are a highly ported PI head with custom 38cc chamber. They are done by Nolan Cylinder Heads in Kansas City. The blower kit is all custom. It started off its life as a AED supercharger kit, but it looks nothing like that anymore. Instead of the factory M90 that used to be on it, it is now a Jaguar M112 case, and it has GT500 guts. Now, this entire blower assembly was brought out to Stegmeyer Superchargers in Missouri, and he ported the entire thing, the entire intake manifold, the blower case. He did his snake bite to it because our belt system runs everything. It's just one belt, unlike a Lightning that has two belts. It's one belt that runs everything. So we have an Innovators West pulley on the bottom, and I actually forget the size on the top, but this thing is pulleyed to the max, so it makes 18 pounds of boost with everything that's on here in the M122 that's in there. It has a BBK twin 65mm drive-by-wire throttle body that has been molded to the Allen Engineering supercharger kit. That factory used to have a single 70mm cable throttle body that would have been in the back. So again, this entire supercharger kit is totally different from the Allen Engineering supercharger kit back in the day. So completely custom.
Thanks, Mo. Hey, you know what? Here is a picture of what that block looked like when we got it back from Siebert. So yeah, drives pretty good. Question from our audience and Panda is about the suspension and drivetrain on this thing. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, she's low. She's got Beltec springs and KYB struts. The front end is actually chained because back in the day with the old setup and the M90 blower, we were racing a Corvette with a bunch of people in the cab, and it would actually pull tire because of the weight transfer of the iron block as opposed to the alloy 4/6 block that these things come with. And so with the weight transfer, the IRS, factory IRS that's in the rear, it would weight transfer and pull tire. So now we have the front end chained so that it won't raise in the front and pull tire. Speaking of the front end, you Explorer guys that get online and say that you can dyno these things by pulling the fuse and disconnecting the transfer case, you're wrong. We blew up the front diff by doing that. These things are a viscous transfer case. So when we blew up the first diff, we actually went through and built the front diff on this thing. It has a locker in the front diff, so she does spin all 4 tires. For muffling, Dora's got 3 mufflers on 3.5-inch exhaust all the way out the rear. We actually were pulled over once upon a time for too loud of exhaust. And when I told the officer that I had 3 mufflers on here, the officer actually told me that he's never heard a vehicle this loud with 3 mufflers, and I offered to show him the mufflers underneath. But yeah, so that's the story of having 3 mufflers on Dora with 3.5-inch exhaust. So it is a Eddie Bauer edition, Eddie Bauer Explorer, and we did not like the gold trim package, so we bed lined all of the gold, so that is bed liner where you see black. Dora's not a very light girl with Panda and I in here, 5200. Dora is actually the all-wheel drive horsepower and torque dyno holder on our all-wheel drive dyno. And everybody always wants to know what those power numbers are, but they don't understand what a loaded all-wheel drive dyno is. So instead I'll just give you the vehicles that Dora is beating by over 100 horsepower, and that is a Trailblazer SS with a 408 heads cam and a Whipple supercharger. The next vehicle, which is 40 horsepower below the Trailblazer, is a SRT8 Jeep with a cam and 125 shot. So to let you know on that, give you frame of reference. That's also pretty good considering Dora still has a 5R55 transmission in it, and the transmission is built. It has pretty much everything that you can do to a 5R55 transmission in a PTC converter, but the transmission is slipping, and it actually does not complete the 1-2 shift. It will go from first to third after
that's Dora the Ford Explorer and Panda with me. So there we are. By the way, I made this whole video and I'm